Hey everyone, again. This morning. Hey. Ah, um. I'm sighing away because I'm trying to figure out how to. What are the words that I can say right now? What? Um. Someone had sent me a video not too long ago. The girl looked like she is about between the ages of 78, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure, but thereabout. That's how she seemed to me. The age. And she had her doll in her hand. The doll was naked, and she was licking the breasts of the doll. It's a female doll, and the private area, the vaginal area of the doll, she was licking. And then she was videoing herself based on how the video was angled. You can see that she's the one videoing herself. And then she showed the video of she has on a blouse but no underwear, so you're seeing her private area. And then she started to use her finger to what have you, with her fingers on herself. And then she took the doll to insert in her vaginal area. People, I couldn't care less what religion you fall under. It don't matter to me where you want to, what day you want to worship. But we need to go down in fasting and prayer. We have more than a dilemma on our hands. We have more. I'm not even sure the correct word to use at this point because I'm at a loss. I couldn't watch the entire video. I think I didn't even went 60 seconds in the video. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't. I'm nervous right now to respond because I could hardly believe what I saw when as the video started. I could hardly believe what I saw. People, we need to go down in prayer and fasting. You may tell yourself that this could not be your child. It is somebody else's child, and maybe that parent or guardian or whoever that child lives with probably is thinking the same thing, because it's a possibility. Believe it or not, it is a possibility. I'm gonna, because I want to try and give the benefit of a doubt as best as I'm able to, for the most part. It's a possibility that parent or that guardian may not know what that child has done or has been doing, because clearly it's not. I'm sure that this is something that naturally you must know that this child has experienced something like this, maybe physically to them or something that they have been watching on the television. Our children are not protected properly, and I'm speaking in general. Our children are not protected properly. Something is radically wrong. And this is where my anger burns, because the gate has been left open for things like this to be happening. And when you have situations like this at this tender age, that is still at the learning stage, according to Jean Piaget, a child psychologist back then we will have some form of mayhem and outbursts as they get older. Something is wrong with this picture. I couldn't even watch the video. Tears are in my eyes. What is going on? What's going on in this country? Why is it that we're not, I don't know what it is, if it must be a protest or whatever. Something that has to take place for things like this to stop. This is, oh my God. We're having a crisis on our hands. And it is not dealt with by the powers that be. That is why the little girl thinks that, oh my God, let me video myself doing this. And I'm thinking back, I'm thinking back when I was at that age, how childish and childlike I was. Those things wouldn't even come across my mind. I never come from the best home. I didn't have my father around. I was fatherless, basically. Though my father's alive and well. I mean, I'm from the single parent home. So I'm talking about I came from somewhat of a dysfunctional home. My mother was the breadwinner, mainstay for the three of us. My older brother and my older sister. And when I'm... Jesus, have his mercy. I have to control my emotions right now because I am flabbergasted, shocked. Those are menial words compared to what I'm feeling right now. Because our country is in a crisis. And far too long, these things have been allowed, and the hush hush and the quiet and all of that, because many children are going through things like this. And it is kept under the hush hush because you don't want to expose who may be guilty of allowing this to be happening to our children. The molestations, the physical and the sexual abuse that they face, things that they're exposed to. Somebody mentioned to me, you don't have to be overexposed to deal with the problem. I don't need to go and watch, for example, I don't need to go and watch Blue movie to know how to perform sexually to please my husband. I don't need to go and watch these things. I don't need to expose myself to certain things or sleep around to perfect the art of having sex. I don't need to do those things. And the thing is, we feel that we need to be exposed to everything, or the children need to be exposed or overly exposed to things so that they can know how to survive society. Rubbish. That's utter rubbish. I don't need to be a prostitute so that I can know how to please my husband. That's madness. Rubbish. Utter madness. That's just demonic and just sick. And it's something that just upsets me to the core. Because we are not dealing with it as a people. Because your child is not affected. No, they're not affected. I'm sure that parent or that guardian must have been saying the same thing. You know? That my child is not affected. My child is not doing this. There's a man who is, I think he's on crack or cocaine for many, many years. And I think when he was a young teenager, my mother was telling me that neighbors went to him, I suppose, maybe in an amicable way, to say, listen, your son is on drugs. And they refuse to accept because they say, oh, we're upstanding people. Son, my son on drugs? My son on drugs? You're mad. And today, they saw the fruit of their labor or the lack thereof. He's just walking the streets of Ligani, every now and again maybe assisting people with their cars or whatever it is, on drugs. On drugs. You know, there's a scripture that says when you harm a child, it's best to put a noose around your neck and jump off into a river, into a sea. You're telling me this is the future of Jamaica? This is what we are allowing the future of the world to be like? Where a child is sitting, videoing herself, doing the unthinkable. That's how I put it. Where a child is sitting, doing to herself the unthinkable. People, we have to wake. Something has got. I don't even know what. What's happening, people? What is happening? Please. Because maybe I am not understanding what is happening. I need for somebody to tell me really what is happening here. My God. What is really happening, not only in our country, Jamaica, but in the world? That a 6, 7, or 8-year-old, whatever age she may be, a child who is a blank state and still learning from us adults, see it fit to be doing this to ourselves. And then we laugh and we go on our merry way as though, oh, it's not my child. So me cool. And I'm collected, I'm collective, and I'm easy because it's not my child. That is what I am sure that child parent or guardian must have been saying or is saying, because maybe they haven't seen the video. They probably have no clue that is what the child is doing. And the sad part is, maybe they know. because they themselves don't know better. It's sad. A lot of people feel that once you reach adulthood, that wisdom comes. No, 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 no. Not in my experience. I've seen people at certain ages. No. That age don't bring no form of wisdom. Wisdom comes from above. Wisdom comes from God. It comes to those who seek it. It comes to those who choose to learn it, who choose to understand it. This is utter madness, and things should be done. We need to do things. Some strategy, I don't care who it is. People, we need to go in prayer. I don't even know what to say. I know Betty and Blaine always talk about the children. We need to protect our children. And that hedge and that protection that we as adults should be giving our children has been removed. Because of talking about exposure to children for them to learn how to live this life. Madness and rubbish. That's utter rubbish and utter madness. But need to be exposed to learn. What have you? That is the fruit of their exposure that you allowed. That's the fruit of the exposure. It has to be exposure. That is why the child has done that. The child didn't just conjure up doing that to herself, conjure up doing that to the doll, and then doing that to herself. She was strategic. She started with something else, and then she went to herself because of what she was exposed to. What she was taught indirectly or directly. I can't make that assumption. I am livid because far too long we have been guilty of allowing these things directly and indirectly to happen because we do not speak up, because we're afraid. We're afraid of our lives. We're afraid to lose our jobs. We're afraid to lose our friends. We're afraid to lose our status. And we're afraid for people to mock us or to laugh at us or to I don't know what it is that we're afraid of, but fear has been the dominant factor, has been paramount in our lives. For us to watch us, we're all guilty in some way or some form or some other way. And when you have one Lord Ranger going out there lobbying for our children, who is the future, who are the future of this world or country or location or whatever it is that you want to say, we sit side by and squeeze on and say, may I agree, but you take that, you whisper it to yourself. You don't want nobody hear you saying it. It cannot continue. I cannot I must be in a daze. I did not see that video. That video cannot be real. That video is not real. It is not real. No, it is not real. It cannot be real. People, we need to wake up. We're living in a fairy tale. We're living in a fairy tale. I don't know if it is that we have been sheltered too much from the realities of life, or maybe our brains are not processing the realities of life, but we need to wake up and we need to do something. This dormancy that we're relying on and that we're doing has got to stop. It has got to stop, people. You may say, boy, there's nothing you can do. And you say that now because it has not hit close to home. It has not happened to, well, hopefully it has not happened to your own child. Hopefully. Because it's in the long run, many parents say, my God, I didn't know. Maybe they're right. Maybe it's true. They didn't know. But they allowed it, whether directly or indirectly, whether consciously or not. They allowed it. You think that slogan or that jargon that we say children live what they learn is just a jargon or just a slogan or just a cliche? It is not. Children live what they learn. I often tell people, I give the example when my niece was around some years ago when she was around me, and I remember saying something. It wasn't anything bad, but I said it, and I said it with in the Jamaican vernacular because she's American, you know? And she repeated it repeatedly with the same accent, with the same fervor, the exact same way, the replica of how I said it. And believe you me, I became a little bit fearful. Because I said to myself, what if it was something negative I had said? That thing could have lived with her for life. I could have been guilty of planting a negative seed into my niece's life. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? I'm so angry right now. I have to be controlling what I'm saying. I am so angry right now because we have been guilty in allowing these things. The hedge and the protection that the children should be facing, they are not. It has been broken down and we watch it. A lady was speaking to me today. I went somewhere this morning, and a lady was speaking to me, and she said she went to her Bible study at church, and there was a pilot. He came because he landed the plane, I suppose, and then he wanted to, catch the Bible study. And driving along, hurrying along to get to he reached a traffic light, and he saw one of these little boys. And you know how them stay already. Like he said to the boy, he stopped and warmed down the glass, and he said to the little boy, "Why are you out here at this time of the night?" And, the little boy said, "Boy, I'm begging you something, please. I need something to eat." And I guess, some people, they don't walk around with cash. They normally use cards. He didn't have any cash. And he said, "Sorry, I'm unable to assist. I don't have any cash." And the little boy, who was no more than 8, who like this little boy, I'm sure between 7 and 8, said to the man, I'm talking here in Jamaica, yes, recently, "Don't worry. Just, let's go to a hotel, and you pay for a room for me and do whatever you want to do to me." The sad part, the little boy said, "You don't want to take up this offer?" The pilot was so frightened that when the light changed, he just drove off. Couldn't even exchange another word to the child. He was shocked. The little 8-year-old boy. You see, all on the little predators out there, where molest them little pitney there, God have a fine... God is going to deal with you. Me a tell you that. God I got deal with you. You see, all of the little predators out there where I molest them, pick them there and wick. Christ. God I got to deal with this. I am begging you people. Please. They are children. They are children. They are children. Please. You were once, some of you were once children. I probably would die of something if I was molested or I don't know what to say. Please. Please. We need to look out for our children. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. I don't have the formula. I don't have the answers. I'm no counselor. I'm no psychologist. I can't tell you that 1 + 1 will solve the problems. I don't know. But what I know is that Jesus can solve the problem. But we have to be willing to allow him to. We have to be willing to allow him to. We have to be willing to allow him to. It could be your child. It could have been your child. It could be your child. It may be your child. It is your child. We need to do some serious prayer and fasting. We need to ask God to restore that protective shield, that hedge, that covering over our children. We need to ask God to help us to do this. We can't just watch these things idly go by. Please, I'm asking you. I'm not saying that all the challenges will eradicate, but for every one life that you can touch, it can make a difference. That's all I'm asking you to. For every one life that you can touch, it can make a difference. Betty and Blaine has been begging for this for years, and other persons. I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words, because I can hardly believe that what it is that I saw on that video. I can hardly believe what it is that I saw on that video. And we're just going merry along our ways. We're just merry, happy along, merry along, happy along. Merry, merry, merry. Something is radically wrong. What's going on? Some of you, if you probably saw that video, I mean, you probably would drop your phone or it could just, I mean, make your heart race instantly. People, we can't just watch things go by like this. I'm asking you. I know we have our choices. We operate on volition. But remember, for every action comes a reaction. You're almost just as guilty as the one who is a predator when you ignore, or even as guilty. As tough as these words may be, it's just reality, it's just a fact. You're just as guilty, or almost as guilty, depending on the situation. It is not right. This is demonic. This can be chaotic in the long run if not dealt with. It has to be dealt with, people. When we see these little boys at the traffic light, we need to report it to the authorities for them to move them from there, because the predators are out there seeking to devour, to kill, and to destroy. Because that's all predators do. They seek out, and then they devour, and then they destroy. I don't know what else to say to you. But God, help me, Jesus. Please help me, God. My heart is bleeding. My heart is bleeding. Because you're just watching this day after day, no matter how many times persons beg for a change to happen, and nothing happens. And we just go on our merry way because we say it's not our child. Father, I pray that you intervene into these children's lives. God, deliver them from the snare of the fowler, from the noisome pestilence, and cover them under your blood. We as adults, Lord, have been neglectful. Unwittingly, Lord, we have been neglectful. Knowingly, some of us. And that is why we wonder why we face the mayhem. Because many of us are given over to our reprobate minds. Because far too long we have ignored. We have ignored and continue to ignore until it reaches a stage like this, where the child pornography is getting way out of hand. And we do nothing because we say, this is not our child, so I don't care. You may not say those words literally, but you say through your actions and maybe in your thoughts, and you allow your thoughts to just fester. My heart is broken. My heart is bleeding. And I'm committing to making whatever difference I can to every child that I come across, that I'm able to, in a positive way. I start through prayer, fasting, seeking God, asking God's help and guidance into our situation. Faith without works is dead. We can give all these wonderful talks here on Facebook, YouTube, CNN, BBC, wherever it may be. But it's until we act, then that is what counts. Love is action, not only words. Change is action, not only words. Me no matter what anybody want to tell me, say change, talk, no, just work like that. It's about action.